Mary's Diary. The Diary of Mary Coray Roberts. Copyright 2004 by Irene Cooper Wayland. Use for family genealogy is permitted. This book is dedicated to Daphne Helena Roberts Cooper Hartley, my beloved grandmother. Daphne loved her mother, Mary Knowlton Coray Roberts, with all her heart. This is what Daphne said about her mother in a letter she wrote to one of her granddaughters. I thank God for my mother who set the example and encouraged me to follow my best impulses. A diary my mother kept before I was born has fallen into my hands. I wish every one of her descendants could read it. They would be proud to say that they had some of her blood in their veins. Daphne did not know that this diary kept by her mother Mary existed. How she would have cherished it as she read the feelings of her mother's heart expressed so tenderly about her children and husband. I wish to express thanks to Mary Ann Jenkins, who did the first transcription of this diary of Mary's. It has been a big help and time saver to me. Thanks to Rex Cooper for first of all discovering on his father's bookshelf this precious record, diary, then showing it to me and suggesting that I would love reading it. A desire formed immediately within me to someday make this treasure available to all Mary Knowlton Coray Roberts' descendants, that they too may come to know her as I have through reading her personal thoughts and feelings so delightfully expressed in writing. Deep gratitude and thanks to my husband Carl for his encouragement and help as a proofreader and collaborator throughout this project. He continues to encourage me to use my talents and skills. Saturday, October 14th, 1911. Came to Orville's, found all well and pleased to see us. Sunday, October 15th, 1911. Went to Frank Knowles. Daphne and children were there. May is not very well, but trying to keep up and make all comfortable and happy. Lou came in late. It has been cold and blowing hard. Monday, October 16th, 1911. Met Lou early at May R's and he started to school. Wednesday, October 18th, 1911, Lou and Clark put up the stove and we moved into the Walker house. The children are all as sweet as they can be, but I am afraid that the crowd is too much for May's nerves. And Daphne, too, is not strong, and a change will be good for her. Lou likes the school and also the teacher. I am thankful. Sunday, October 22nd, 1911. Lou and I went to all the meetings. Lou and Clark both spoke well. I was proud and thankful. May is not well. I am worried about her. Daphne is still with her. Monday, October 23rd, 1911. We all took dinner at May's. She, Orville, is the oldest son of Mary Coray Roberts. He is married to Persis Amy Young. They have 10 children, 8 living at this time. Killed a turkey and had a fine dinner. Daphne came home with us. Thursday, November 2nd, 1911. Frank, Don, Claire, and Roy came, went to a dance. All had a good time. I stayed with the babies, bless them. Don's little Lou has grown so much. It is fine. Saturday, November 4th, 1911. There was a ward fast meeting. Don and I went. Frank, too, and Ava, also May and her little girls were there. We had a glorious good time. May was prayed for by Brother Newell Young. His prayer was full of feeling and fervor. Frank spoke very tenderly of May, and Eva of her mother. My dear sweet May, she is full of faith, and I feel that God will bless her. Sunday, November 5th, 1911. Roy took Daphne and children home. My dear little girl has troubles of her own now. We all miss her and her 3 lovely children. We went to meeting. Don spoke. It looks good to me to see him stand up and testify to the truth of Mormonism. May was blessed again. Frank and I met her at N. Young's. She is promised health. Tuesday, November 7th, 1911. Frank, Don, and Claire have gone home, and we 3 are alone again. Don Carlos Roberts, Mary's son, married Claire Poirier, October 1910, and their first child, Louis Avery Roberts, was born September 1911. Thursday, November 9th, 1911, I met with the Fruitland Relief Society. The sisters were all fasting and praying for May Knowle. There was a lovely spirit in the house, and the prayers and remarks were full of love for her and faith in the healing power of God. Sister Hendrickson and I went home with May and washed and anointed her. I am sure she will get well. Went to see Hattie. She is in poor health but seems cheerful and hopeful. They are quite comfortable in their tent. Lou is still pleased with his school and teacher. I am very thankful that he has this privilege. We are cozy and comfortable since we got settled. Thursday, November 16th, 1911. Don and Claire came. Roy and Frank are not coming to conference. It has been a very cold day, but baby Lou was warm and happy. He is a big, fine baby now. I was glad to see them. It is Claire's first conference. Friday, November 17th, 1911. We all but Pa went to a banquet. The table was full of good things, and I met lots of old friends from all over the stake. It was in the meeting house. Brother N. Young conducted the ceremonies and surely did well. He is trying to work up interest in the church school. Saturday, November 18th, 1911. The first day of conference. The speaking was good, and all seemed to feel well. Sisters Jones and Dean with several others came home with me for lunch. Sister Jones asked me if I would be a stake aide for the Relief Society. I said yes. So was voted in. We have had fine speaking today on home and the responsibility of parents. At night the school gave an entertainment. It was good all through, but the part that touched me most was a story written by Lou. It was well received by all. Don and Claire are out to everything with the baby. He is as sweet and good as possible. May Noel was out. She is not well yet, but her faith doesn't falter. May R. was out too. I was glad to see her. She is sick so much. Sunday, November 19th, 1911. Orville came last night. I was glad to see him. I know how he appreciated the privilege of going to conference. Hattie was out too. There were meetings all day, not time to eat. We are all full of the spirit of peace and joy. Monday, November 20th, 1911. We went this morning to a school meeting. The speakers were full of inspiration, and I was glad to be there. Tuesday, November 21st, 1911. The folks have all gone again, and we three are alone to go on in the same quiet old way. I hope to see them Christmas again. May is better. Thursday, November 23rd, 1911. I went to Relief Society and tore rags. Saturday, November 25th, 1911. Went to primary and after at church. We started the religion class. May is well. Sunday, November 26th, 1911. Walked proudly by Lou to Sunday school and meeting. There were 2 boys who are going on missions. Spoke quite feelingly. May the Lord bless them. Tuesday, November 28th, 1911. I visited the school. Was pleased with all I saw and heard. It is surely a blessing to the young. Wednesday, November 29th, 1911, went to May Knowles to help her about her big dinner. She is well. I never saw her look better. Thursday, November 30th, 1911, Thanksgiving Day. Frank came last night. He and Eva were here to dinner. I love to see them together. Newell Young and family were also at May's. Pa did not dare venture out in the cold, and Lou was at Tanner's with a crowd of young folks. The dinner was fine, and the visit with the folks better. 14 little folks sat at the table at once. Went home with the crowd, found all dark and still. Pa in bed, Lou gone, but he soon came to fix for a dance. Friday, December 1st, 1911. Went to the lower schoolhouse to hear Brother N. Young lecture. He spoke feelingly of his love for and hopes for the development of children. Saturday, December 2nd, 1911, attended primary and religion class. I feel as if I shall be able to do some good here. Friday, December 8th, 1911. Went with Frank and May Knoll to school to hear Frank's speech. He read it, but it was fine. Brother Young and the school were all pleased with it. May stayed with me until after dinner. We went to the Relief Society meeting. Both associations met together. We had a fine time. Brother Young is sick again. It is bad for the school. They lose interest. Friday, December 15th, 1911. Daphne and Frank came. Daphne is on her way to California. She is not very well, but the children seem to feel well. But baby, he has had grip 1 and is not quite over it. Saturday, December 16th, 1911. Daphne is in bed, sick with headache. Baby Arvine is better. The children have done well. I am sorry to see my dear little girl look so frail and bad just as she is going on a trip. Sunday, December 17th, 1911. Daphne is some better. May came home from Sunday school and spent the day. We had a very pleasant visit. Robert went home with her. I did not go out all day. I hate to leave Daphne for a moment. Wednesday, December 20th, 1911. I have done nothing for 2 days but visit with Daphne. Bless her life. She will never know how dear she is to me. We went to May's. I stayed all night. Roy did not come. Thursday, December 21st, 1911. Came home and packed Lou's grip 2 for Red Mesa. I hate to see him go, but I know that he will have a good time and the folks will be glad to see him, and Clark too. My heart is heavy. The thought of saying goodbye to my darling little girl, Daphne, hurts, and I got a letter from Jenny 4. She is in very poor health and so far away. I don't look for a very Merry Christmas, but will try and help the rest have one. Friday, December 22nd, 1911. Lou and Clark have gone. Roy has come. We will have our Christmas tomorrow night. Orville has been here most all day. He doesn't know what to do next. Oh, how I wish I could help him. A better son never lived. Sunday, December 24th, 1911. May is miserable with chicken pox and her baby. Wright is quite sick, but the house rings with happy voices. May made me a present of a very pretty picture that I shall look at many times with pleasure. Jenny sent me $3. Roy gave Lou a razor strap. The folks all came to spend the evening with Roy and Daphne before they left. We had a very pleasant time. Roy asked Orville to go with him to California. He did not decide. Tuesday, December 26th, 1911. Orville came ready to go, but it was so cold Roy will not start until tomorrow. I went home with Orville to eat Christmas dinner at his house with his family and Hattie's. I washed up his clothes and did what I could to help Persis get him ready for his trip. She is cheerful and satisfied. It is very cold and Pa is not well. I went to May's to see the folks off. All felt well, and just as if we would meet soon. Frank Knoll took them over the river with a big team. May and I watched until they were out of sight. May God bless them. Thursday, December 28th, 1911. Lou and Clark came home. They had a fine time. Brought me a present from Don, Claire, and Frank. They will be here Saturday. I miss Daphne and her sweet children. My heart yearns for them. I will be glad when we hear from them. Pa is still miserable. Saturday, December 30th, 1911. Claire and Don came. I was pleased to see them. The baby is fine, just as sweet as possible. Sunday, December 31st, 1911. We all went to Sunday school and meeting. It was very cold. Don spoke well. I never heard him do as well. There was David Hall and John Hammond here from Manco's. Monday, January 1st, 1912, May R. and family, Hattie, Milton, and Don and family took dinner with me. We had a pleasant day. May N. had chicken pox and the little ones too. I kept Claire's baby and they went to a leap year dance. May N. was there. They all had a good time. 28 Saturday, 30 Sunday, 31, January Monday, 1st Friday, Saturday 6th January, 1912, Tuesday 2nd. We went to May Roberts for dinner. Wednesday, January 3rd, 1912. Don and Claire went to May N. to dinner. I kept the baby. He is as good as gold. Thursday, January 4th, 1912. Claire was sick all night and feels miserable today. Frank and Eva came today. The tent is cold. She will come here. Dawn went home. I felt bad to see them go. Claire was not well, but they were afraid of cold weather. Frank moved Eva here. She is homesick. I don't think she will stay long. Frank went home. Sunday, January 7th, 1912. We all went to Sunday school and meeting. Bishop Taylor and wife took dinner with us. Saturday, January 13th, 1912. Eva has been quite sick for 2 days. Frank came yesterday. Lou went to play ball at Farmington with school. Sunday, January 14th, 1912. Clark broke his wrist. A load of hay tipped over on him. Lou took him to Farmington. Monday, January 15th, 1912. I went to see Clark. He is resting quietly. Eva is better. Tuesday, January 16th, 1912. Frank went home. Lou and I went to an evening entertainment at Mr. Tanner's. Saturday, January 20th, 1912. Hattie gave birth to a boy. Both are doing well. It is her 12th child. Monday, January 22nd, 1912. Frank came for Eva. Tuesday, January 23rd, 1912. Frank and Eva went home. Clark came to stay with us so he can go to school. His arm is doing well. I am glad to have him with us. Lou is happy. Wednesday, January 24th, 1912. May, Noel, and Clark went to Farmington. They had a great time. May is well and as bright and happy as a girl. The letters from California are slow coming. Hattie is not doing very well. Friday, January 26th, 1912. Letters at last from Daphne and Orville. He wants his family there, and she has moved to herself and wants me and Pa to go. My dear little girl. Roy is out of the sanatorium. I see May once in a while. It is a treat that I feel as if I will not enjoy long. I am nearly sick over the condition of Jenny's eyes. I wish I could go to her, but it is impossible. Pa is sick so much. Saturday, January 27th, 1912. Brother Young is sick and has given up school. Bishop Taylor will take the school. Wednesday, February 14th, 1912. Lou left school to take me to Red Mesa. It is all over. The winter has gone. It has been pleasant in many ways. May has been healed by the power of God. Hattie is well again and has a healthy child. Lou has been pretty well all winter. He has not missed a day in school since he started. We have had pleasant times together. Now I start in the morning for Red Mesa to say goodbye to the children, my 3 boys that I had hoped to spend my life with, to the home that I thought was mine for life. It will likely be divided up and sold. I may never see it again, but all is well anyway. Thursday, February 15th, 1912. Had a long, cold ride. Lou walked for miles to keep from freezing. We ate our dinner by a large rock and enjoyed it. We were both disappointed at Clark not going with us. It was a pleasant trip, if I did get cold. We found Frank and Eva well, and supper waiting. Friday, February 16th, 1912. Don came over and took me home. He has a lovely babe and a sweet wife. I was pleased to see them again, and it is hard to think of leaving. Saturday, February 17th, 1912. I went to Daphne's tent to see how her things looked. Oh my, it is enough to ache one sick. I had to cry over buried hopes. I wish I could see through it all. Sunday, February 18th, 1912. Went to Sunday school and meeting with Don and Claire. It was a day of joy. There was a spirit of love and peace. Don spoke well in prayer meeting, and so did others. I wonder when I shall hear Don speak again. He presided at the sacrament meeting, and among others, called on Lou. I was so thankful to hear him testify of his faith in and love for his religion. May he always feel as he does. We all took dinner at Frank's. There is still a table full of us at the Mesa. Ava had a good dinner and was as pleasant as possible. When will we all be together again? I went home with Don. Lou will stay with me. Oh, I love them all. But I must go. Monday, February 19th, 1912. Went back to Frank's to fix up Lou's clothes and other things. Tuesday, February 20th, 1912. Got word that Roy was coming, so we did not go to Fruitland. Roy came. He is well and pleased with California. Wednesday, February 21st, 1912. Laid over another day. Went to Don's to spend the last at Red Mesa. Thursday, February 22nd, 1912. Don drove me down early to Frank's to go to Fruitland. I bid goodbye to the girls, Don and Lou. This is hard. There are 1,000 things that makes it very hard to leave my boys. I had counted for years on spending the last of my life with them. I had worked to this end, and now circumstances are so changed that I can't do it. But Lou says that he will come to me, and I believe the other children will. But it is hard, hard. Brother Will one feels badly at the change, but I hope he will do well. Frank went with me to Fruitland, and Roy also. We found May, Hattie, and all well. Saturday, February 24th, 1912. Frank went home. He looked so. William Henry Coray is Mary's brother. Miserable that I can't bear to think that I will not see him again before I leave the San Juan. That brave boy. Lou came. Oh, how glad I was to see him. Sunday, February 25th, 1912. We did not any of us go to meeting. The wind blew cold and hard. May, Lou and I just had a good visit. Monday, February 26th, 1912. Lou has gone. May. God in his mercy watch over my boy. Went to bid Bishop Taylor and wife goodbye. He gave me a blessing. Wednesday, February 28th, 1912. Frank and Don both came and brought their wives. Oh, how kind and good it was in them. Don will go with me to Gallup. Hattie is here. How strange I feel. Thursday, February 29th, 1912. We crossed the river, the great San Juan that carried down my Howard, my noble boy. Will I ever see it again? I bid goodbye to a loving group on the bank. Hattie and Jenny Steele, May and family, Eva and Claire. May God bless them and grant that we meet again. Frank Roberts and Frank Knoll crossed before us and bid us goodbye on this side. Frank N. has acted nobly, and Frank R. did all he could for us. Goodbye. Goodbye. Friday, March 1st, 1912. We stayed last night at Frank Knoll's store. 1. It was a long, hard drive, and we did not get there until late. Don was kind and considerate, and it was a comfort to be near him. We started early this morning. The wind blew hard in the afternoon and all night. We stayed all night at Manning's. They gave us a room, and Pa a good room in bed. Saturday, March 2nd, 1912. Left early and reached the mission, got a room. All enjoyed watching the Indian children march to meals and filing around. Don came in and prayed with us. He slept out in the wagon. Sunday, March 3rd, 1912, reached Gallup early after climbing mountains and missing roads. We packed the trunks, Don roped them, and all is ready for a start. The time is growing close when Don will leave me. Pa is miserable and 2 of the children have colds. Monday, March 4th, 1912. Took the train with a heavy heart. Don put everything in order, helped us on, and said goodbye. I have felt his kiss on my lips and seen his face all day. I love him. But I am flying onto what? I have seen nothing of interest. The night was hurried, smoke and heat. The car crowded. Tuesday, March 5th, 1912. We have passed over miles and miles of lonely country, orange and lemon orchards, beautiful fields and homes surrounded with all sorts of shade trees and flowers. Stopped a short time in Los Angeles, rode up a street or 2 of high business houses. The streets are narrow and irregular. Took the train at 1 o'clock and passed more fine homes with trees and flowers of every hue. Came in sight of the great ocean. We rode by the shore for a long distance. I have longed for years for this sight. It is great. I am not disappointed. We reached San Diego by dark. Got our tickets, and in a pouring rain, dark as pitch, reached La Jolla. Got out of the car. The conductor directed us to the west, and we started out to hunt Daphne. Oh, but it was an experience, but we found her with help. It was a joy to look in her face again, wet and miserable as we were. Wednesday, March 6th, 1912. Spent the day in drying out our clothes and visiting. Orville came over to see us for a while. We were on the beach. The waves are beautiful and the ocean. I never tire of looking at it. It is pleasant to be with Daphne and her sweet children again. Saturday, March 9th, 1912. The children have been noisy. My head aches. It has rained and blew all the week. Last night it was a fright. Orville came early in the evening. Sunday, March 10th, 1912. The ocean is raging. The breakers are grand. Oh, the poor fishermen out on this terrible sea. Daphne and I took a walk up the beach to look at the dashing waves. We went to a beautiful garden but did not go in. It began to rain. Orville went home. He is looking for a place to live but so far has not decided. Monday, March 11th, 1912. Daphne, Persis, and I went to the store and then through a beautiful home and garden just above the witch's cauldron. In the grounds are beauty and art and nature. Below is the ocean boiling and waning. Tuesday, March 12th, 1912. Went with Daphne and children to San Diego. Met Orville. He had no answer from the dairyman yet. He walked around the city some and priced some things we will need when we move. It rained on us hard coming home from the station. We were drenched. Sunday, March 17th, 1912. Daphne feels better today. She had a time yesterday with the man she rented the house of. Orville came about noon. I went to meeting with him and Persis. We stayed all night in San Diego. We walked round the city and saw the grandest fountain I ever saw or dreamed of. Monday, March 18th, 1912. I came home alone. Persis went to see her new home. Tuesday, March 19th, 1912. Went to San Diego in auto with Daphne and children. Went on to Mr. Cooper's. Stayed all night. Persis and family were gone when we got home. It was still and quiet with Orville's family gone. We swept and cleaned until late. Friday, March 22nd, 1912. Went to Bird Rock with Daphne and Robert to gather shells. I got 2 quarts. One little beauty to finish a set for Lou. The best of all is Daphne's company. It sweetens everything. Sunday, March 24th, 1912. Went to Sunday school and meeting, had oil consecrated and was administered to. I have not been well for several days. Went to see Orville in his new home. They are quite comfortable and feel well. Came home and helped Daphne some about packing. We will soon say goodbye to this beautiful beach and all that we have enjoyed here. Monday, March 25th, 1912. Finished packing, cleaned the house, and fixed up generally for our move. It has been a hard day. We came as far as San Diego, shut Pa and the children up in our room with the dog and ran downtown to do some shopping that had to be done. When we got back, Pa was worn out and mad, and so were the children. We all ate supper and went to bed. This ends the first scene in California. I am not sorry that I had a short stay in La Jolla. It has been pleasant and instructive. I never could have known the ocean as I do. The breakers have been a continual March 1912 source of delight. The pleasure I had in gathering shells was great and new. I would venture too far out sometimes and be taken by surprise and chased back by unexpected waves with wet feet, which was not good for my lungs. It is over, and I am thankful for the experience. I received letters. Tuesday, March 26th, 1912. The dog was restless and the baby cried most all night. There was no sleep for Daphne or me. She tied the dog to a telegraph pole. Someone turned it loose. I am not sorry. We took the train early and rode through a beautiful country to our home in the hills, Daphne's and mine for I don't know how long. This is a beautiful place. I see no reason why Roy cannot do well here. Wednesday, 27th. Cleaned house all day. Received some sweet home letters from Frank and wife, Lou and Jenny. She has another girl, born March 16th, 1912, and got along fine. Lou says he dreamed of me, and he is coming to stay with me. Oh, precious words. Sunday, March 24th, 1912. Cleaned and hung curtains. We are fixing up pretty nicely. I wonder if I shall have the pleasure of seeing Lou enjoy this home and its beautiful surroundings. Daphne has a beautiful house that she will take as soon as the folks leave. I wish Roy could come and look after it. Pa is doing fine. He keeps us in wood and tends to the cow, and it rains every day. Sunday, March 31st, 1912. Went to a Union Sunday school. All met me pleasantly. I hope I shall be able to do some good here. Monday, April 1st, 1912. Washed and cleaned floors. Tuesday, April 2nd, 1912. We put in some garden. The soil is fine. Sunshine all day. Wednesday, April 3rd, 1912. Put in beans. Hoed the grapes and fixed up the palm tree. Sunday, April 7th, 1912. Had grip. I could not go to Sunday school. Daphne and I fasted. We want God in His mercy to remember Roy. His trial will start tomorrow. 1. If it is not put off. I was sick and blue. I could see Lou's face all day. He looked so kind and sympathetic. I would have given a considerable to have put my aching head on his knee. I believe I am getting childish. I don't want to. But sometimes there is a lonely, longing feeling for someone or something that my life has never known. I feel that my children have filled my life. I love them, everyone, more than I have ever shown, so they will never know how dear they are and the joy I have known in their lives, because there is something wrong about me. I don't do the things worthwhile. Daphne is good and kind, and her children are all right. I will feel better tomorrow and think and act like a sensible old woman ought to. I wrote Martha, Howard, Maria. 1. This is Hattie's birthday, April 7, 1912. 39 years ago, 1873. She was placed in my arms, a wee pretty little dot. I was proud and happy. Oh, the plans I laid for her future. There was nothing that would refine and elevate her that was feasible that she should not have. Anyway, before I had lost a dearly beloved sister, that was the companion of my childhood. 2 years older. I loved her as few sisters are loved, and she loved me. We were the same size when grown and dressed exactly alike. There was never an unkind word between us, and the memory of our association is like a sweet dream. I named my little treasure for this dearly loved sister, Harriet Virginia. 1. And as I held her close to my heart, I looked and pleaded for my sister to look on her and me and see how sweet was her little namesake and how I still loved and cherished her. That child is now the mother of 12 children born in poverty and hardship. May God have mercy on and bless the poor courageous mother. Daphne and I have just laid around, and it has been a day of pleasant and sad reflection. Wednesday, April 10th, 1912. Daphne has been gone to La Mesa for supplies. The children have been as good as gold. I wrote a letter to Lou. This is Frank's birthday. He came to me in the morning of April 10th, 1880. A bright black-eyed boy. How little, as I lay there in my close room, the wind howling like sin, and I cuddling my baby and trying to keep my senses. How little, I say, did I realize what was in the future for us. As I look back over the years from the time he was 10 until now, I wonder what my life would have been without this boy. In those years he has figured largely in my life. My heart has nearly bled many times with sympathy, and many, many times I have yielded to his infectious determination. He could never stand contradiction, and I have yielded against my judgment rather than face his disappointment. We know so little of the future that I am willing to say, let it pass. May God guide and direct his course to peace, happiness, and eternal life, with a family that loves and respects him, and may his efforts in life prove to be a blessing to all. Thursday, April 11th, 1912. Wrote Frank, Don, and Glenn. It rained most of today. I am not well. Saturday, April 13th, 1912. A letter from Persis. All are well and doing well. I am so glad to hear from them. My neck still bad. We put in peas and squash. Sunday, April 14th, 1912. I did not go to Sunday school. Was not able. Mrs. Herricks came in the evening. We looked at photos. Oh, how sweet the dear faces of my children are to me. I wish I was fixed so that I could pick them up. Oh, why don't I get letters? I fell and hurt my elbow badly. I will go and see Orville tomorrow. There is comfort in that, and I know he loves me tenderly and unselfishly. I mailed a letter to May Knowle. Poor Daphne had a cry today. She is in trouble, but she is a brave, sweet girl. Daphne is very worried about Roy. It is just 2.5 months before Helena is born. Monday, April 15th, 1912. Letters came from Frank, Don, and Claire. I was pleased to hear from them all. The assurance of love from the children is always gratefully received. Frank sent me in advance $5 for a birthday present and a pretty card. I surely appreciate his consideration. Oh, how I would love to see them all. Tuesday, April 16th, 1912. I went to San Diego and got my money from the bank, had some pins mounted for the boys, Daphne's glasses fixed, and did some trading. I found Orville and family well and cheerful, and doing as well as could be expected. I enjoyed the evening with them. Wednesday, April 17th, 1912. I went to Mrs. Wilmer's and looked through her beautiful house, phoned to Daphne that I would not go home that day. Persis and I went to see about chickens. Amy and I found bees on a tree in Mr. Cooper's place. His Japs gave them to me in another swarm. I went to get hives but could not. In the evening, Persis, Amy, Mary, and I went to a Amy and Mary are Orville and Persis's daughters, Mary's granddaughters. Missionary meeting, met some pleasant Mormon people. It was late and I was very tired when I got back. Thursday, April 18th, 1912, I put the bees in a vase and took out some honey, went to La Mesa with Mr. Cooper in his auto, came on home with Mr. Miller, and was met by my sweet Daphne and her dear little family. We put up the photos of my dear ones. Daphne is testy anyway. I love to have her fix up my pictures. The room seems more like home. Brought 100 chickens home. Sunday, April 21st, 1912. Fixed to go to Sunday school, but Roy came and we did not go. 1. His father brought him and took dinner. Daphne and the children are happy. Monday, April 22nd, 1912. I am 64 today. I got a dear good letter from Lou with $5 into his PA to get me a birthday present. He wrote a touching letter to his pa. Lou says he will spend the winter with us. It will surely be fine to see him around again and to fix up his clothes for him. I also received letters from Don and Martha. Friday, April 19th, 1912. My mind has been in a turmoil. I have not slept much. Everyone is pleasant and do all they can to make my life pleasant, but I have through my own folly brought about conditions that grind, and I am trying to patiently wait for time and work to bring about a change. Daphne and Roy have gone to San Diego to get furniture and supplies to start housekeeping in the big house. Tuesday, April 23rd, 1912. Roy and family moved to the new house. The furniture came. It is very nice, and to my surprise, they bought me a lovely desk and book cupboard combined. It is just what I have wanted for many years but had no idea of getting it. They also brought me linoleum for my floor, Pa a chair and Lou a dresser. I appreciate the kindness. Friday, April 26th, 1912, went to see Orville. They were out on a pleasure trip after meeting. All are well and happy. I gave my first lesson to my Sunday school class. They are bright and pleasant children. I hope that the Lord will help me to teach them the truth. Fixed up my bees and went to San Diego to get some things for Daphne. Helped Persis some in the garden. Left with bees and 180 little chicks for home. Oh, the beautiful flowers and vines on the road and in the towns and cities. Found all well at home. Daphne is nicely fixed in her home. Roy is doing his best. Found letters from May and Lou. Oh, how it makes my heart bound to think of their coming. This is my mother's birthday. Will she look down upon me and bless the daughter that loved her and that she loved and cared for so tenderly? Oh, Ma, will I ever live on this earth in the way a white woman ought to, with home where I can support myself? Frank sent me $5. My bees are all dead. We did our best, but it was too warm. It is a great disappointment. Friday, June 7th, 1912. We have the house now in pretty good shape. It looks nice and comfortable. Daphne is very miserable but will help. Friday, June 14th, 1912. We are boarding at Roy's now. I had to be there so much that I could not get along. Thursday, June 20th, 1912. Don and Lou sent me with $10 in the dearest letters ever written. Saturday, June 22nd, 1912. The missionaries came. Roy had to go to San Diego, but they stayed and picked apricots. We put up some of them. Sunday, June 23rd, 1912. We had a good meeting. The elders were treated fine. There was a pretty good turnout for the place. Roy came and we had a pleasant visit with the elders in the afternoon. Sunday, June 30th, 1912. I was called to my dear little Daphne about 2 this morning. The poor child had suffered alone for hours, for fear of disturbing me. I would rather have been by her side. She has a sweet little girl. They call her Helena. The children are delighted with the baby. Conrad is making grand plans for her for the future. Thursday, July 4th, 1912. Daphne is getting along nicely. The children are having great times with firecrackers. Roy went to San Diego in the afternoon. Roy came home with bees. Orville and family came for a visit and brought chickens. We had a good time today. Daphne is standing the noise fine. We have had a good visit and the folks are gone. Orville felt better. He doesn't like California. Orville blessed the baby. I received a nice letter from Frank full of love and $5 in. The boys' letters are as tender as the girls'. They are dear to me, and I treasure them dearly. Poor Jenny is sick again, will go to Salt Lake. Oh, that dear girl. How I would love to see her. My dear May, she is worried about me. She sent me $10 and Lou $5. I am comfortable in Roy, July 1912, and Daphne are thoughtful of my needs. No one need worry about me. May's letters are so full of love and tender feelings. They say that Lou is going on a mission. I know it will be a blessing to him and would not stop him if I could, but oh, how it hurts to give him up. My dear little Daphne is up and at work some. It almost scares me to see her, but she seems so well. The baby is so sweet and good. The children were all fine while their mother was sick. Herman Coray is here. It seems good to see him around. Saturday, August 3rd, 1912-3. We are at City Heights tonight. Daphne and family at Mr. Cooper's and I at Orville's. They all seem well and happy, but Persis, she has sick headache. We went to San Diego and did some shopping. The ride home hurt her. Sunday, August 4th, 1912. Went to meeting all of both families. Orville, Roy, and Daphne bore their testimony. It was sweet to me. Went to Coronado in afternoon and ate our dinners on the beach, while we watched the bathers ride over the waves, then walked through the beautiful grounds where there were many attractions for us all. Monday, August 5th, 1912. Persis, Daphne, and I went to town shopping and came home worn out and hungry, but dinner was ready waiting for us at Orville's. I have had a very pleasant visit. Tuesday, August 6th, 1912. Came home in an auto and got shook pretty badly. Tried to climb a hill. We went up until we could see most everywhere, but did not reach the top of Mount Helix. Now we will rest for 2 days. Saturday, August 10th, 1912. Herman went to San Diego. Sunday, August 11th, 1912. Mr. Neal, the Sunday school superintendent, came over this morning to tell me that the parents here did not want Daphne or I to teach a class because we were Mormons. I told him it was all right. I went to Sunday school and told the class how it was. I believe that I can do more good in a class. Thursday, August 15th, 1912. Daphne went to San Diego to get her teeth fixed, left the children with me. Roy went for blankets. Saturday, August 17th, 1912. The folks came home tired out. The children have done well. Pa is sick. Sunday, August 18th, 1912. I did not go to Sunday school. Pa is sick. Daphne came over in the afternoon and helped me fix my pictures. She is always sweet and pleasant. Monday, August 19th, 1912. I received a letter from Jenny. She is well again. I am very thankful. Also a letter from Frank. Ava is getting along fine after her operation 2 weeks ago today. Sunday, September 1st, 1912, Pa's birthday. Orville and family came. Brought birthday cake. Dinner at Daphne's. Thursday, September 12th, 1912. A letter came from Jenny. She is getting ready to come here. I am very thankful that she is coming. Orville's girls have been here nearly 2 weeks. They are doing well. Pa received a letter and $5 from Frank. Sunday, September 29th, 1912. At last, Jenny is here with 2 children. Her face is bad, but I believe that she will get better now, away from her troubles. Monday, September 2nd, 1912. Mr. Neal, Sunday school superintendent, came over and asked me if I would teach a class. I told him certainly. I wonder what has changed their minds. Friday, September 6th, 1912. I had no class there, but Daphne went out with hers as usual. Jenny seems to feel fine. I wish she was settled at 5 Oak in good home. She and the children took dinner with me. Pa is better than he has been for years. Sunday, September 8th, 1912. I took Jenny to Orville's. All are well. Went to Mr. Cooper's on a little business errand for Roy. Jenny went with me. At La Mesa, Jenny bought me a chair, carpet, and oilcloth for kitchen. I hate to see her spend her money until she is settled. Monday, September 9th, 1912. Jenny is not well, but she went with me to San Diego, bought some things for Helena. I got me some glasses, had to pay $7.50 for them, found my shells or found where they had been. I fear they won't be ready for Lou. Orville thinks of going with Jenny. Tuesday, September 10th, 1912. Left Jenny and all the folks well and came home. Amy came with me a few miles. She is going to the state normal school and doing well. I am very thankful. Stopped at La Mesa to get my things. Found all well at home. Wednesday, September 11th, 1912. Began house cleaning. Daphne came over in the afternoon and worked too hard. We are getting on fine. Roy is gone. Thursday, September 12th, 1912. Daphne has been here all day at work. We are nearly through. The house looks well. Friday, September 13th, 1912. The team was gone, and I did not feel able to walk to Sunday school. Daphne and the young folks went, and I kept the babies and got dinner for them. Daphne don't often eat with me. Saturday, September 14th, 1912. Still at the house. Daphne came and painted and hung curtains and laid the oilcloth. The house is about settled. It is nice and comfortable. I am very grateful to the children who have done it. Saturday, October 19th, 1912. I went to Orville's. All are well. Did some trading at San Diego. Sunday, October 20th, 1912. Went to Sunday school and meeting with Orville and family. He and I went to see Jenny. Orville took May and one of the girls home. I stayed with Jenny. Had quite a talk with a Theosophist lady. Jenny and I took the baby too and went to meeting at night. Met Orville there and Jenny went home with us. Monday, October 21st, 1912. Stayed at Orville's and visited with Jenny and Persis. Tuesday, October 22nd, 1912. Orville is blue. He needs more money. He works so hard and gets so little pleasure out of it. My heart ached for him. He has been a loving and good son to me. Oh, how I wish I could help him. I came home with Roy. Had a pleasant time. Wednesday, October 23rd, 1912. I ironed for Daphne and fixed up some papers for Frank. I have been low-spirited all day. I am anxious about Lou. Thursday, October 24th, 1912. This is Orville's birthday, my first baby. Never was a mother happier than I when I laid that precious little form across my breast and felt its little heartbeat. Never was a mother prouder than I to feel that this little life was mine, to love and watch over, to direct and guide into paths of virtue, truth, and knowledge. As I lay on my pillow listening to the feeble breath, I planned for the future of my treasure. There was not a doubt in my mind that I could not, with the help of God, rear him as I wished and mark his future. Now the question comes to me, is his life what I wished? Yes, verily, it is. He is faithful and true to every trust. His body is uncontaminated by anything that is vile. His thoughts are pure, and his strength and ability has been used to serve those that depended upon him. I could ask no more from him than he gives. He never gave me an impudent word or look. I have always had from him love and obedience. But circumstances, over which I nor he had any control, have shaped for him a hard and cheerless life, and my heart has nearly bled for him. I do not know. I cannot understand why this is. Some day I may, but I love him as early as possible, and when he comes to me in trouble, I seem to always suggest the wrong thing. I can only pray. Friday, October 25th, 1912. Orville and family, also Jenny and her little ones, came late. Orville will leave Vyman next Thursday and hunt another job. I hope he will do better. Jenny is with me. Saturday, October 26th, 1912. All took dinner at Daphne's. Sunday, October 27th, 1912. Had a good visit with the folks and went to Sunday school. Listened to a good talk from a Mr. Chase on the divinity of Christ. Orville and family went home. Also, Jenny. She left the children with me. Tuesday, October 29th, 1912. Daphne went to San Diego to see Jenny and get glasses. The baby is restless nights. I don't sleep well. Wednesday, October 30th, 1912. Received a letter from Jenny. She is going home. May the Lord help her through her trouble. Ava and Frank wrote me a long letter. Ava said that Lou was called on to speak the Sunday before, said he spoke well and that he spoke kindly of me. I am very thankful that he thinks of me. I feel as if I had done so little for him. He may be here in a week. Is it possible? Tuesday, November 5th, 1912. Jenny did not go home. She will be here in a day or two. Friday, November 8th, 1912. Jenny came home. She is on a deal for a home. I hope she will do what is best. Daphne went to meet her but failed and stayed all night at La Mesa. Jenny took the wrong road and went to El Cajon. A boy brought her here. She is well and cheerful. Saturday, November 9th, 1912. Received a lovely letter from Lou. His heart is full of love for everyone, and he is going with a desire to serve God. May he always feel as he does and come back with his faith strengthened and rejoicing. Oh, will I see him and hear him speak. Monday, November 18th, 1912. Lou is at Orville's. We went to La Mesa to get him, but he did not meet us. I am disappointed, but he may come tomorrow. It seems like years since I began to plan on his coming. Tuesday, November 19th, 1912. Lou came today. It was a struggle to keep my heart from getting the best of me. I have had little chance to talk to him, but know that his heart is right. My Heavenly Father still hears my prayers. I am grateful. Pa is better now, but weak. Aunt Mary does not write in the diary for about 3 weeks. She begins again, December 9th, but goes back to Orville. Clark Roberts is holding Arvine Cooper. Monday, December 9th, 1912. I am going to try and pick up some of the last threads of the last 2 weeks. It has been one of the most important periods of my life, and the experience will never be forgotten. On Sunday, November 17th, 1912. Pa had an attack of grip. He was in bed most of the day. On Monday 18th, he was up but feeling badly. On Tuesday 19th, he was some better, but still. Lou came that day and it raised his spirits some. Wednesday 20th, he went to Daphne's to eat dinner but did not stay long. 21st was not so well. Friday 22nd did not get up. He had a sore throat and cough. Monday, December 23rd, 1912 and 24 kept his bed and ate but little. Still, there did not seem to be anything serious. Wednesday, December 25th, 1912 and 26 complained of hemorrhoids and a soreness across him. Tuesday 26th complained of pain when he voided urine. When rubbing him, I found the soreness so low that it alarmed me. I called Roy, and he and Lou, after talking with Pa, decided to send for the doctor. I had done all that I could with hot applications, and it had no effect. The doctor came about 10 and drew his urine, which relieved for a while. In a short time he was suffering as badly as ever. Lou and Roy did all they could. Lou scarcely left his bedside. Friday, December 27th, 1912, the doctor came twice and gave him drugs that took his mind, but did not relieve his pain. Roy had gone thinking he was better. Daphne and Jenny were on hand to do what they do. There was no relief from any source for poor suffering Pa. Saturday, December 28th, 1912. Lou insisted that I should go to Daphne's that night to sleep. I went, but did not stay long. When I got back and opened the bedroom door, I saw a picture that I shall never forget. Lou was sitting on the side of the bed supporting his Pa, his eyes glistening with tears, and his throat so full he could scarcely speak, and Pa's white head and pale, haggard face resting on Lou's breast, and I said in my heart, could he pass peacefully out of pain into peace and joy on the breast of his baby boy? Who would dare say it was not right, but know God willed it otherwise? He must suffer on. I sat down by Lou, and he took my hand and said, Ma, I knew you would come. I could just cry and cry, but it would do no good. Soon after, Orville came in and talked so pitiful, and I braced and braced against the feeling that I knew would break me down. The doctor came and seemed so confident and cheerful that it dispelled the gloom some. Orville kept watch over his Pa, and at 5, Lou called the doctor again. This time he told him something must be done. Lou and Orville administered to their Pa, his oldest and youngest son, who, holding the holy priesthood of God, laid there, hands on him, and asked the Father to relieve his suffering. Friday, November 29th, 1912. The doctor came with a doctor from San Diego who is a fine surgeon. They all decided that Pa must go to La Mesa, so I dressed my poor suffering husband to go for what, I knew not, but he went in Lou's arms, who was full of hope, and it had to be. Saturday, November 30th, 1912. I did not go to La Mesa. It rained all day. At night, got good news from Pa. They said they would not have to perform an operation. Sunday, December 1st, 1912. Went with Jenny to La Mesa, was met by Lou in town who told us that Pa was going to be operated on today. It is over. Lou, Orville, Roy, and I waited on the porch. Jenny was by with her baby. Lou went in once in a while to December 1912, see how Pa was getting along and bring us word. At last it was over, and pronounced a success. Jenny left for Daphne and took Mary to tend the children. Roy stayed and got a much-needed rest. I was with Pa until late. He was resting fine. The doctor said he came out of the effect of the chloroform like a baby. Monday, December 2nd, 1912. Pa is dazed with medicine but knew me in a moment. Daphne came to see him. He was pleased to see her. Jenny went in too, but we have to be careful. He is so bewildered. I sat by him most all day. They have a new nurse. Lou is by him all the time, but while at meals. We rented rooms close by Jenny and will stay until he is better. Roy and Daphne went home to their children. Tuesday, December 3rd, 1912. Pa is still rambling. I see no change. He eats nothing but what he throws up, and even a swallow of water makes him sick. I have sat by him most all day and held his hand. He knows us all and talks of the past. Wednesday, December 4th, 1912. No change yet that I can see. Roy came, and while they were at dinner, Pa roused and found Lou was gone and the nurse's mother in. He had not seen her before. He got excited and jumped out of bed. Lou and Roy ran over and pacified him. Lou or I will be there every moment from this on. It did not seem to hurt him, but it was dangerous. He eats nothing yet. Thursday, December 5th, 1912. I have held Pa's hand all day while Lou has sleep on the couch, poor boy. He is most worn out. Orville phoned to know how Pa was and wanted to come and sit up with him, but the nurses don't like to change. Mr. Thatcher came today. He has a bad cough and grip. They are not giving so much medicine to Pa now. I hope he will be able to eat some. He can't stand this much longer. Jenny will go tomorrow to San Diego. Pa has laid his arm over me so often today. I feel uneasy, yet the doctors say he is doing well. He don't seem to suffer much, but is surely failing. Jenny went to Orville's. Friday, December 6th, 1912. Jenny has gone. Lou has a very sore throat and some fever. Pa is growing very restless. I will stay again tonight. He seems to want me near all the time. Saturday, December 7th, 1912. Lou went to San Diego. His throat is bad. Pa is very uneasy, but clear in his mind. Sunday, December 8th, 1912. Pa was very restless last night, 1912, and all day. He complains, but little. Dr. Oatman was over to see him. He says that Pa is getting along all right. I wish I could see it. He still eats nothing. The doctor says that Pa can go home when he can sit up and he urinates all right. It is a little encouraging. They prescribed more medicine. He hates it so, and I don't believe it does him any good. He is so loving to me all the time and holds my hand for hours. It seems like old times. He asked for Lou today. I told him his throat was so sore, the doctor would not let him come in, and I had sent him to San Diego. He said, "What nonsense!" Then he spoke of Daphne and the children and asked me when I had heard from Frank and Don or May and Hattie. Then laid his arm around me and said, "They seem so far away. I guess it's pretty cold there now." Then looked so tired, closed his eyes. Lou phoned. He is no better. Monday, December 9th, 1912. Another restless night has passed for my poor husband. He takes very little nourishment. Roy came. He was very much pleased to see him and asked if he had brought some of Old Blossom's milk, said that he could drink a pint of it. Roy said he would have some there next day. Pa said he would go home with him Friday, and I, foolish thing, thought for a few hours that he would. He sat up a while today. I cut his hair and trimmed his whiskers. He is so thin it makes me nearly fear in spite of my effort to hope. He complained of heat, and it is hard to keep him covered, yet his flesh is cold as stone in spite of hot water bags. Tuesday, December 10th, 1912. Pa had a bad night. Heat inside and cold out, and his nerves in a terrible condition. He can't eat in spite of my holding out home to him. It is no use. He said today, "Mary, I am not going to live but a few days." I said, "You have thought that before. The doctor said if you would eat, you would get well. Try and eat some." He said, "You will see." I got him up thinking that it would make him rest better when he laid down. Lou came in, but Pa did not look up. He had his eyes closed and did not see him. Lou's throat is very bad, so he did not stay. The doctor said he must not. Pa soon laid down but rested no better. I ran over to the house and bathed Lou's feet, rubbed his throat, and fixed him a gargle. "Oh, Father, have mercy. What shall I do?" Then ran back to my husband. The doctor says he don't know what is the cause of the burning heat Pa suffers with and doesn't see why he doesn't eat. Oh, what a miserable dunce, to put the life of our loved one in the hands of, but what can we do? Wednesday, December 11th, 1912. Another fearful night for Pa. I am discouraged. This restlessness will wear him out. He cannot stand it long in his weak condition. He can't speak above a whisper. I wish I had talked to him when he could talk. Lou is still bad. He was in to see his Pa today but dare not go close to him. Lou's throat is the worst I ever saw, and all I can do makes no difference. It has been hard to keep Pa in bed, yet he doesn't seem to suffer. He says he is only restless, but he is surely wearing out. He has slept but little and holds out with more strength than it seems possible he could have. He put both arms around me and asked me to kiss him. I am sure he feels that he is going, but the wise doctor and wife said, "I don't December 1912 see why he don't eat. He understands you. I don't see why he don't lie still." Miserable blockheads to be called physicians. I ran to the house a moment, phoned to Jenny. I wish I could reach Orville and Daphne, but they have not the same phone. Lou said he was better, but he scarcely laid down last night. I can't imagine how he will get through tonight. Thursday, December 12th, 1912. The terrible night has passed, never to be forgotten. Pa never slept or rested one moment. In the evening, he complained of rheumatism in his left knee. I was not surprised, for he had been so restless and had thrown the covers so much. The nurse and I put his feet and legs to his knees in as hot water as he could stand, and it seemed to relieve him for a while, but tossed and tumbled and complained of heat just the same. He asked me to rub his leg. I did until he said stop. After watching his covers and trying to soothe him so that he would take a little rest until 4, I told the nurse that we must warm the room good and look at his leg. All my fears were confirmed. His leg was black. I had put a hot water bag under his knee a short time before, and he complained. I asked him what hurt him. He said his leg. I asked if that was all. He said yes, only restless. He reached up his arms to me. I stooped down, and he drew me as close and strong to him as he ever did and said, "Mary, I am burning inside." They called the doctor. I paid but little attention to him until he came to me as I sat at Pa's head. I told him that I was depending upon him to call the children, that we had 4 children within reach and wanted them at their father's bedside. He said, "I will call them, but there is no hurry." I said, "I want them," but through his blundering carelessness, they did not get the word in time. Lou and I were alone at his side when he closed his eyes and passed out of mortal life as peacefully as a child going to sleep. His suffering is over. He has gone to rest with his loved ones that have gone before. Howard loved him and will rejoice at the meeting. The family that are here, Orville, Jenny, Daphne, and Roy, soon came. They were terribly disappointed at not getting word earlier, but I could not help it. They came soon after. We phoned to the elders at San Diego, who gave us the address of an undertaker's establishment. We phoned to them. They came with an auto made for the purpose and took the body of my husband away to their parlor. We followed the body, too. "The street," Lou said as they drove off. "Pa has not gone with them." The remark struck me with force, and it gave comfort. Orville went with them to select a lot and casket, and to see how his pa was cared for. Friday, December 13th, 1912. We, Orville, Jenny, Daphne, Lou, Roy, and I had a few hours by the silent body of our dear one that bore a look of peace and rest. He is free from pain, sorrow, and disappointment in the abode of the blessed, where he can mingle with his loved ones without a sting or care. He was tender and sensitive, and as he grew older, this part of his nature predominated so that the ruthless push and struggle of life of those around him and dear to him hurt and angered him more than all his wife, who was not born to rest and never will until the hand of God is placed upon her, and he says, "Stop. May my husband, my children, my God, and all whom I have hurt by a nature I cannot control forgive. Oh, forgive me. It was not through lack of love, believe me." The children, all but Lou, went to their houses. Lou and I walked around town a short time, mailed some letters to my children far away, bearing the sad news, returned and sat by the fire and talked over the past 3 weeks and the possible future. Lou was tender and loving and like himself. His throat is better, but very sore. Roy and Daphne came early to take us to San Diego to the undertaking parlor where I saw my husband for the last time on earth. The elders were there ready. We got Pa's clothes together. I went in to look on his pale but pleasant features. I helped about arranging his robe, that sacred garment. It gave me joy beyond experience to see it placed on him, the emblem of our eternal union. It called to my mind, my son, my own Howard, when I raised his lifeless head to my shoulder and placed the robes on him. There was a thrill that went through me from my head to my feet. I shall never forget the sensation. I asked for this privilege, and oh, it was a privilege that I thank God for. I was with him in the temple and saw him sealed to his family. I knelt by the altar and held his little girl while December 1912 she officiated for her dead sister. These are sweet memories that I shall hold dear until I meet him again. His Pa is with him. Will they remember and talk of me? Claude will want to hear from Grandma. No one need tell me these ties are at an end here. They are more enduring than life. We all, that were here, met at 1 p.m. in large, pleasant room, in the building where Pa's wife, 2 sons, 2 daughters, and 3 grandchildren were all the mourners present, and though it was hard to think he had left us, yet we could not mourn when we looked at his peaceful face and thought of what he had suffered, and how anxious he was to go. The music was fine and appropriate, and the remarks of Elder David Smith were full of comfort and inspiration. He took us from before we left the Father through this probation back to our celestial home with all the gifts and blessings promised to the faithful. After service, we looked for the last time on the beloved face of husband and father. We followed the casket, borne by loving hands, to the hearse. We with the elders were driven to the beautiful green lawn cemetery where the beloved body was laid to rest until the trump shall sound to call forth the just from their graves. Roy, Daphne, Lou, and I came home. Jenny we left at the streetcar on her way back to San Diego. We were late getting home, and Lou suffered considerably with his throat. It is swelling on the other side. Oh, can he stand it? Saturday, December 14th, 1912. Lou slept but very little. He would almost stop breathing in spite of all I could do. I put hot, wet cloths on his throat as long as he could stand it, but it did no good. Roy has taken him to the sanitarium. I have come down home. Oh, how lonely it looks. I shall stay with Daphne until Lou comes. Sunday, December 15th, 1912. Daphne and the older children went to Sunday school. Roy came. Lou is better. He is getting good treatment there. I worked a little around home. Fixed Pa's picture. Tuesday, December 17th, 1912. Daphne phoned to Jenny to come. Thursday, December 19th, 1912. Lou came home. His throat was lanced again. He looks pale and thin. I am thankful he is as well as he is, and very glad to see him. Friday, December 20th, 1912. Mary went home and Jenny came. I am glad to have her with us again. Saturday, December 21st, 1912. Lou and I are home alone. Jenny concluded to stay with Daphne. Lou and I went to La Jolla with Roy, stopped overnight Saturday at San Diego. I got my glasses and did some shopping for Jenny. Sunday, December 22nd, 1912. Went to La Jolla. All of us felt well and enjoyed the scenery. We reached the coast about 10:30 a.m. We stood on the coast near Roy's old home, my first landing in California. We looked up and down a while, taking in big breaths and saying, "Oh, how beautiful, just look!" Lou was looking at the Great Pacific for the first time, and a pleased, strange look of wonder filled his eyes as he exclaimed, "Oh, it's great!" I watched him to see how he was taking in the greatest of great things. You see, Lou is my boy, and I wanted him to feel as I did. I was not disappointed. Lou felt and looked at it. Which way were we to go first, was the question. I said, Bird Rock? Roy looked at his watch and hesitated. He said, "It's a long way," but I pressed the matter and said, "We can take our dinner there and eat it." I remembered a dinner eaten there about 9 months before with December 1912, my darling little Daphne and Persis with their happy group of children. How they ran and shouted, Robert venturing as near the water as possible, then when the waves came over his little shoes, run and scream. Arvine was taken out of his buggy and lay rolling in the clean sand and bright sunshine. Daphne found a comfortable seat. She was not well and watched, while she knit with a pleased, smiling face, the frolics of the little ones and the jests of the older ones, but I stayed with my job under one rock 2 hours and gathered 2 quarts of shells. It was to this rock I wanted to go and show Lou the birds that gathered there by the hundred, and looked from the rock with their solemn faces toward the ocean. It had interested me so much that I wanted him to see it and take a picture of it, but after we had the long walk, we found that the tide was too high to get down to the beach, and the birds were gone. I picked my way down over the rocks as near as I could get to try and find something worth carrying home. Lou and Roy followed. Lou told me to go out on a rock he pointed out, and he would take my picture. I stepped on a rock with moss on and slipped. I tried to raise up, but found my hand and wrist helpless. Lou and Roy both came to my assistance. My wrist was dislocated. I insisted on Lou setting it, for I knew it would be less painful then. Roy held my arm and Lou set my wrist. The next question was, how was I to get to town, 3 or 4 miles away? I turned a little faint. Roy took a clean handkerchief and wet it in seawater for me. I felt better when I got on top. The boys each took an arm and tenderly helped me on until there an auto came along, which took us in and kindly helped the boys to find a doctor which pronounced it a good job and bound up my wrist. I said to the boys, this shall not spoil our trip, so with my hand in a sling and not very comfortable, we went to the beach near Witch's Cauldron and ate our lunch and fed the gulls, watched the waves roll in from all directions and break in a great white cloud of white spray. There were 2 pretty little girls came out on the rocks with sketchbooks. They danced and played around like little fairies of the rocks. After lunch, I walked out on the beach to see how near I could get to the gulls. There had a good many gathered around. I love the birds for old memories' sake. Away back in the 50s when I was a little girl, living near Salt Lake City, and just on the border of Great Salt Lake, there was a terrible grasshopper war that raged in most all the towns in Utah. In this little town where we lived, they were a fright. In order to save something, the whole town turned out with flags and brush to drive them into a thicket that had been prepared and burn them. I went with the others, a slender, delicate little girl of 7. Our food was not very nourishing those times, and by noon I was about worn out. I went to Pa, pale and trembling, and he told me to go home. I started and got as far as the gate and fell in a dead faint. The next I knew, I heard Ma say, "I told your Pa she ought not to go." Then Howard said, "She would go. She always has to try everything." Well, now about the gulls. The next morning I did not wake up very early, and the first thing I heard was a shout from the children crying, "Oh, look, look, see the birds." I hurried into my clothes and outdoors. The sight that met my eyes I shall never forget. The whole heavens seemed filled with gulls. They alighted on the fields of grain, then rose like trained soldiers. 1 or 2 would rise and make a round sweep, then others would follow in quick succession. As they rose, widened the circle, one following the other, until they formed an immense funnel, then flew off to the Great Lake and dropped their load of grasshoppers they had gathered in a pouch under the neck. Then they flew back and repeated the act over and over again until the fields were cleared from grasshoppers and the people were saved from starvation. I have seen reefs of grasshoppers as high as a house all salted down on the shore of Great Salt Lake, and did not have to drive them with a flag. I only sat on the top of a fence or haystack and watched the beautiful birds whom God had sent to save his people. This is why I love them, and why when Lou said to get out on that little island among the gulls, and I will take your picture, I stepped right off, lame arm and all, to have a picture among the birds who had been instruments in the hand of God to save his people from starvation. Roy threw crumbs at them while Lou took the picture, and I prize it. We walked along the beach for some time, and Lou took several pictures. We then visited a place where they keep hundreds of varieties of sea animals. I will not try to describe them. We then walked up the beach to where there were groups of people looking for shells and amusing themselves in the water in various ways. But my chief joy was that Lou was by my side holding my hand and steadying me for fear my feet should slip. It is worth all the pain that I have or shall endure. Roy went to find a man he had business with but met us at the car. We all went to meeting and listened to a good sermon by the never-to-be-forgotten Elder David Smith. Monday, December 23, 1912, I spent a miserable night, left early for home, stopped at Orville's to get Persis to fix my arm. Orville walked to the car with me. He is always the same tender, respectful son. Met Lou and Roy in the car. The ride home was hard on me, but it could not be helped. Jenny has a letter from Jens. She will go home the 25th and leave her children. Tuesday, December 24th, 1912. I have been home with Lou. He has Wednesday 25th. The children had a good time, but there was too much work to do for the girls to take much comfort. Jenny left for home. Lou and Roy left for Long Beach. Sunday, December 29th, 1912. I have had a miserable time. Since Lou left, I have suffered so much with my arm. It is some better today. Daphne met the boys. She took the little boys and had a cold, late trip. I am glad Lou went and glad he is back again. Wednesday, January 1st, 1913. Wed Lou will soon leave me. I am sure that it will be a blessing, but it makes my heart heavy anyway. Daphne wanted to go to a play at San Diego taken from Ben-Hur. Lou wanted me to go with her, and for her sake I went and enjoyed it. Orville and Persis also went. It was fine. Had to do the work. I am almost helpless. The girls are working hard for Christmas, but I am out of it. I can do nothing. Thursday, January 2nd, 1913. I had a pleasant time with my dear little girl going over and coming back today. Bless her. How I hate to leave her, but it must be. I found Lou well and happy. We have only a few days left to spend together, but it's all right. Sunday, January 5th, 1913. We all rode down to Sunday school with Roy on his way to La Mesa. I am trying to make the best of the 5 days left with Lou, but my lame arm is quite a drawback. Orville came today also, Mary. He is sick and worn out. A few days. Rest will be a blessing. It is very cold. Daphne had a nice supper ready for him, but he could not eat. Monday, January 6th, 1913. Orville is better this morning. We had a good visit. It has rained most all day so that everyone had to stay in. Roy brought a cord of wood. Lou and Orville are having a pretty good visit. Tuesday, January 7th, 1913. Orville and I went to Daphne's to help her what we could. She is washing. Lou and Orville picked and dressed a chicken for Lou's lunch. It has cleared off. Wednesday, January 8th, 1913. We started early for San Diego, Lou, Roy, Orville, and I. The ride was January 1913, pleasant but a little cold. I went in with Lou to buy his ticket. He said goodbye to Roy. Then he and Orville walked to the store where Lou got films and went with Orville to his home to see the family before leaving. I waited in town until they came back. They brought Amy and Grant with them. We ate supper, went to a play, then down to the boat that he was going in. It was a beautiful sight. The great white steamer by lamplight with dark water around it that grew blacker in the distance. We went with Lou on the boat and looked around. It was so clean. I should think everyone would travel that way. Lou walked down with us and off a short distance from the boat to say the last word and put his arms around me for the last time for 2 years. It was hard to turn my back on him and walk off, but I looked back and got one more look at him as he stood on the ship, and he looked beautiful to me, with the lights all around him. Will I see him again in this life? Thursday, January 9th, 1913. I came home with Roy. It rained on us all day. The house looks desolate, all its charm as home is gone. I feel more at home at Daphne's, but they are talking of January 1913 of leaving, and that will end it all. I feel like packing up everything but the beds and cooking vessels. Mary will be with me until I leave, and Daphne and the children come in sometimes. This I shall miss when I leave. Jenny's baby is doing fine. I wish I was able to take care of it. I would bring it home. Friday, January 10th, 1913. Jenny will be here next week. Tuesday, January 14th, 1913. Today, Lou went through the temple and received blessings that pertain to time and eternity. I have prayed earnestly that the Spirit will testify to him of its truth. I can only wait and see. Wednesday, January 15th, 1913. Today, Lou takes the train for his mission. May angels guard him. The boys are anxious to know what I am going to do and where I am going. I cannot answer now. Thursday, January 16th, 1913. I received a letter from Lou written on the 13th. He was having a fine time. He got to Salt Lake on the 11th. Friday, January 17th, 1913. Received a card from Lou. He had been to President Joseph F. Smith's office on the 14th as required. Will go to the Western States Mission. May God bless and protect him from evil and bring him home with credit. Saturday, January 18th, 1913. We got Jenny's baby from Mrs. Fisher. Friday, January 24th, 1913. Jenny and Jens came, also Helena. She is pleasant, sweet little. They all look well, and IOCAR /coup, less than ~VO11 TT10NNPC. A letter from Lou. He was in Salt Lake on the 21st, intended leaving that night. Sunday, January 26th, 1913. Went to Sunday school. We all had a big chicken dinner at Roy's. Jenny don't want to go home. Jens talks of taking the children. Tuesday, January 28th, 1913. The governor and legislature of Utah talk of giving the Indian War veterans a pension. That takes in my husband. I am very thankful for the prospect of a little of my own. Thursday, January 30th, 1913. Went to Daphne's to do some sewing and get Daphne to cut out a skirt. Friday, January 31st, 1913. Jenny is sick with erysipelas. I am heart-sick about it. She has been so well here. Thursday, January 2nd, 1913. I did not go to Sunday school. Jenny is still in bed, and I don't want the children to bother her. I got a nice dinner for them here. They had a good time all day. Some men came over to look at the place. I think Roy will sell. Friday, January 3rd, 1913. Jenny got up and came over from Daphne's. She is much better. I've been happy all day over letter from Lou, bless him. Tuesday, February 4th, 1913. Jenny is much better. Jens and Roy went to San Diego. I was with Daphne most all day. She is making me a skirt Jenny gave me and silk waist she has given me. May they both be blessed with kind and considerate children as they have been to me. I have a letter from Dawn. My sweet sister Eppie is coming to Salt Lake. Her faithful daughter Lou wants me to stay with her mother. I surely will. Howard and Edna too want me too, and I would love to be with them. Wednesday, February 5th, 1913. Received a letter from Frank full of hope and courage. He is having a rough time now. He has the respect of those that he deals with, and the best part is he is proud of it. So I know he will try to keep it. Dear sweet patient Daphne, she is a jewel. Jenny is still improving. Bless her noble heart. She wants to help everyone but herself. Friday, February 7th, 1913. Jenny, Jens, and children are gone to San Diego. Jens and Roy have bought a garage. Roy will stay in it. Saturday, February 8, 1913. Daphne went to sign papers on La Jolla lots. They will have a house built. Roy will take my chickens. I will leave soon. Sunday, February 2nd, 1913. Lou Lewis is Eppie's daughter, Howard is Mary's brother, and Edna is his daughter. Sunday, February 9th, 1913. I went to the Jamacha Sunday School for the last time. I hope I have done some good and that the seed sown is not all lost. Monday, February 10th, 1913. I have been packing and fixing to go. Dear Daphne and all the sweet children are helping. Loaded trunks and wagon to start early. Tuesday, February 11th, 1913. I ran down this morning to look for the last time on that beloved cottage with its many sweet memories. The very ground seems hallowed. The chicken coop that my husband took so much pleasure in building, although too hard work for him. The little old anvil with a bar beside it where he with his little pet Arvine sat to pound bones for the chickens, with 1,000 other marks of his presence there that are very precious to me. I went into Pa's room and prayed that his spirit might be near me in times of trouble and meet me when I go. Then, with a hurried look at the little parlor and Lou's bedroom that I had been arranging for months for him, to occupy but a few short weeks under the most trying circumstances, I ran from the place. Goodbye. Daphne was waiting to help me to the wagon. Dear little O, how much I love her and her dear children. I kissed her and Pa's dear little Arvine and Mary February 1913. Goodbye. The little boys had gone. The baby was at the house. Herman stood smiling up at me. I put my arms around my darling once more, climbed on the wagon, and was driven off. This is the last of Jamacha for me. I stayed at Orville's that night. It was pleasant to be with them all, but his lot is hard. I wish that God in his mercy would ease this strain that is breaking him down. Wednesday, February 12th, 1913. I left Orville's this morning, with Amy, she for school and I for San Diego. It was hard to say goodbye to Persis and the sweet loving children, not knowing when I should see them again. There was celebration at Amy's school, the State Normal. It was Lincoln Day. The schoolhouse and school is fine and all did well. I enjoyed it very much. Amy went with me to see Jenny. She is a dear, sweet, thoughtful girl and helped me all in her power since her childhood. She has made every sacrifice of personal pleasure possible for me and mine. May the Lord bless her with his faithful children. Helena is in school. She is a fine girl and the babies are sweet. Orville came and spent the evening. We had a pleasant time. He and Amy stayed until 12, then said goodbye and left me. Thursday, February 13th, 1913. Jenny and I went to Pa's grave. It is a beautiful spot and well cared for. If it were so I would love to stay near where he rests and go often to his grave and put flowers on it for my own satisfaction. I could not do much here while he lived in the struggle and stress of life. I know I was careless. I hope he will forgive me when we meet on the other shore. Jenny fixed me a nice lunch and went with me to the streetcar. She said cheerfully, "Mama, it is all right for you to go now. We are not fixed to make you comfortable and you must have all the money you need to have a good time. Then come back to us and we will fix you up fine." She kissed me and walked off. Bless her dear life. Roy took me to the car and started me off in a good seat, saying, "You must come back." I stayed all night at Los Angeles, was very kindly treated by all whom I had to deal with. Friday, February 14th, 1913. Took the car at 10:30, rode by beautiful fields and orchards. Oh, this lovely California! Will I be permitted to live in this state? Saturday, February 15th, 1913. It was smoky and noisy last night. They had to blast some rock out of the road that had rolled in from the hills. I did not sleep much and was glad to get out of my sleeper early. It snowed considerable during the forenoon. I did not suffer with cold, met some pleasant people, and the sun came out, so the time passed all right. I reached the depot at 2, took a streetcar and went to Brother Howard's. One I found all well. I was pleased to meet them again. Also, Lou Lewis, too, who stays with them. She is taking a short business course. She is a dear, good girl and trying hard to take care of her mother. We all sat up until 12 and talked and listened by turns. Edna is the same dear girl. I can hardly believe it is 1.5 years since I saw her. Sunday, February 16th, 1913, I went to see George and family. It seemed fine to sit by the big fireplace and talk to George and watch the children play around. George don't know how much I love him. Kate is the same gentle, sweet soul. I went to see Martha. She is a very intelligent woman. Stayed all night. She is as bright as at 20. Friday, February 28th, 1913. Sister Eppie came. She is frail but much better than I feared she would be. It is 16 years since I last saw her in Logan. She is a little more nervous and weaker, but to me she has not changed. She is the same quiet, earnest, loving, sweet girl, but care and sorrow and disappointment has swept over us both and left its traces on face, heart, and brain, and the end is not yet. What will the harvest be? Lou has looked for 2 days for rooms. She is a brave, good girl. George and Kate came in the evening. We had a pleasant little chat about old times. Eppie is cheerful and happy to be with Lou again. Lou has rooms. We'll move tomorrow. Clark came Friday, had the doctor. Work at his head a little Saturday, which made him pretty sick. I went with him today, but he did not have much done. He went home this afternoon. He is a fine boy. It almost made me homesick. We moved into 2 comfortable rooms. I went to Cousin Mamie's. She is in a bad condition but gets around pretty lively and tries to make the best of life. The week has passed pleasantly, visiting. Lou hunting for a job. I went with Daphne, too, to Provo. We were met pleasantly by Maria June and family. Sunday, February 9th, 1913. Daphne went home Sunday. She is a bright, sweet little girl, and all the folks are pleased to have met her and have made it pleasant for her. Clark came in Sunday and stayed a short time. He is going to leave school and go home to put in a crop. He went with me to Guy Mann's. I spent the day. In the evening, Will Roberts and Polly took Maria, Clark, and I a long ride in an auto a long way on the old road to Salt Lake. We went nearly to Pleasant Grove. We used to call it Battle Creek. Oh, what a change. I have not been on this road for 47 years. There was not a drop of water on it then. Now it is covered with orchards, gardens, and fields, laden with fruit, vegetables, and grain in summer. Oh, the memories it brings up of parents and a group of happy children, then later young men and women with our changed hopes and feelings, then an aged father and mother, mature young married people with families, the separation from home, the death of parents and beloved brothers and sisters, death of husbands and wives and children, all this and much more in the few short years past, then plodding over this road with an ox team, now flying in an auto. Monday, February 10th, 1913. We did not go today. Clark wanted me to stay 1 more day as it is his last with me for a long time. He leaves tonight. Maria took Flora Barnum, her sister, and I to see Madame Bernhardt in Queen Elizabeth. It was just right. Tuesday, February 11th, 1913. I got back to Salt Lake. Was very sorry to find that Sister Eppie had been sick. Lou has a temporary job at the ZCMI. Howard and Edna are happy over the hope of the success of Edna's literary work. Martha is happy over the success of her work with the young folks. Sunday, February 16th, 1913. Went to spend the day with George and family. Lizzie Coray was there. The day passed very pleasantly. I stayed all night. Monday, February 17th, 1913. Found all well as usual. Howard came and told Lou she was wanted at the Deseret News Bookstore. She found it was P.O. work. We are all rejoicing. Tuesday, February 18th, 1913. Went to the 100 Years of Mormonism picture show and took all of George's children. It was fine, but I was disappointed in the character representing the prophet. Made a pleasant call on Howard and Edna and found there a pleasant letter from Mayar. Also a letter that gratified me very much from my missionary boy Lou. Bless him. Tuesday, April 1st, 1913. March has gone, and with it the snow and mud, but not the cold. I have visited with one then another of the family when I could leave Sister Eppie. She is still very miserable. We moved today to 445 East 6th D. The lady keeps a grocery store in part of the house. It is quiet and pleasant here. Saturday, April 5th, 1913. Went to see George and family. Had a very pleasant visit. Went to conference and brought home Mazel Halls and Sister Hammond to dinner. They were very pleasant. We had a good time talking over old times and the present, conditions at hometowns. President D. Halls did not come. He had to attend a meeting. Sunday, April 6th, 1913. Went to meeting in afternoon. Met President Taylor. It was a pleasant surprise. He gave me a recommend to go to the temple. Sister Martha came home with me. We 3 sisters ate the first meal together for 30 years. Sister Eppie is better, and we had a good visit. Lou Lewis did not leave her mother, so was a pleasant addition to our party. Monday, April 7th, 1913. This is Hattie's birthday. Though my heart is full of love, I could only write a letter. I went to hotel to see some old friends, young people who had just been married, Louis Lance and A.C. Palmer. Went to see Brother Dean and Sons, but Jasper was gone. Had a pleasant call with brothers Dean and Harry. Thursday, April 10th, 1913. This is my Frank's and Brother Howard's birthday. I wrote Frank a long letter and bought some apples and candy and went to Howard's and stayed all night. I wish I could know that Frank would have all his business fixed up by another birthday and be able to rejoice in the life that God has given him. He has been a great blessing to me in helping me watch over the younger boys. Wednesday, April 30th, 1913. Persis has a baby girl born, both well. Thursday, May 1st, 1913. We moved today 544 East 1 South Street. It is a very pleasant location. The car ran off the track and frightened Sister Eppie. Brother Howard helped a man to move us over. He has been very kind and helpful ever since we began moving. Around. Maud helped us out with dishes and furniture, and Edna gave us some things, so we will be quite comfortable when we get settled with what Lou has bought. Monday, May 5th, 1913. I went to see Cousin Mamie. She was May 1913, quite miserable, but glad to see me. Poor girl, how I pity her. She craves company and loves to travel and attend fine entertainments and has means to do it, but her fearful disease prevents her. She loves life. She is a sweet woman. Thursday, May 15th, 1913. This is my Jenny's birthday. Her sweet little face is as clear before me today as the day she was born. Jenny has been to me a loving, faithful daughter. She has done all in her power to help and comfort in the trying days of her early maidenhood. Although she was not strong, she would undertake anything possible to clothe and feed her beloved brothers and sister. Her true, faithful, spotless life and sweet personality will be always remembered. With loving pride by her parents, brothers, and sisters, may God reward her. Monday, June 16th, 1913. I received a dear bundle of letters today that filled my heart with joy. The children all seem to take a notion to write. Lou is doing fine on his mission and all are well. My dear cousin Mamie is dead. I loved her and she loved me. I shall miss her very much. She was a patient, sweet woman and will surely get a rich reward. Thursday, July 24th, 1913. 45 years ago today at 3 o'clock I was married to Clark Roberts, one of the kindest of husbands. He was loving and true. His ill health rendered him unable to provide in his later years as he would have enjoyed doing, but he was a kind husband and indulgent father. His memory will be cherished by his children as long as life lasts, and we all have hope to continue the loved association through eternity. I have lived in the past today, my wedding day. When loath to give up girlhood, I marched with the young ladies, representing the date of our advent into these valleys. When I returned home, I was carefully dressed by loving sisters for my marriage in white from top to toe. How tenderly they arranged my long black hair while I sat passive. Was I happy? Yes and no. I was to be a beloved bride, tenderly cared for the balance of my life. I was to have someone to take all my cares, provide food and clothing and all the necessities with loving kindness. I was to have a home of my own, and he was to furnish it to please me. I was to arrange and beautify it for him and dear little souls that would cling to me and nestle on my breast. Oh, what promises I made my Father in heaven if he would help me discharge this sacred duty. With these thoughts my heart swelled and cheeks tingled as braid and curl was fixed to please the eyes of 4 living critics over my not too fair brow. Then would come the thought of the separation from those that were the playfellows of my childhood and companions of my maiden days, where every thought touched a responsive chord in my heart. These loving, true, and faithful sisters that now stood over me on this important day, decking me in becoming costume and arranging hair and dress and trimmings, then admiring and complimenting. How could I live apart from them? Then came the thought of an absent brother, far away on a mission, that brother that had made me his ideal, that had made my happiness his pleasure, and, well, I knew what this would mean to him. Then came the thought of little brothers where babyhood I had watched over with July 1913, all but a mother's care and tenderness. I loved them. I loved them. And I love them still. Oh, the thousands of memories that cling to the heart and sanctify it, of that home that is, blessed with wise and loving parents, loving and helpful brothers and sisters, all true, yes true, tender and true. My heart fills as I recall those days of long ago. I am 65, yet it seems but yesterday since I took that important step. I was then some months past 20, 45 years of joy and sorrow. Now I am drifting around alone. I hope I am some comfort to my sweet sister who is still in very poor health. The letters from my children are pleasant and encouraging. I wish I could be near them all, but that is impossible, for they will not live together. They have different schemes for making a living. I am very much gratified with Lou's work and the spirit he shows. Sunday, July 13th, 1913. 37 years ago today, my dear May opened her blue eyes to see the wonders of a new world. We were all delighted with our little girl. Now Hattie had a little sister. The boys had a little girl each to play with, and Papa had baby that very soon learned his voice and would August 1913 stop nursing and turn her little head in the direction of his voice. We all loved her dearly and watched with interest her development. As she grew, she day by day displayed those traits that have not only endeared her to her parents, brothers, and sisters, but all who knew her. She was and is tender, loving, faithful, and true. She now has a large family and a husband that she devotes herself to, and they return and appreciate her love and interest. May the Lord bless her and her family as she so richly deserves. I am looking some for Don and his family. I hope I shall not be disappointed. I want to see them so badly. I don't know how long I will be able to stand this. I get lonely. Friday, August 29th, 1913. The time passes and I neglect to writing the things I want to remember, so long that they are forgotten and don't last. Claude 1 will be going home soon. He took me to a fine play in the Salt Lake Theater, As a Man Thinks. It was fine. I received cheerful letters from Red Mesa. But the letters from California are far from pleasant. They are all in trouble. Monday, September 1st, 1913. This is Pa's birthday. He would have been 80. 1 year ago today we had a big birthday dinner at Daphne's at Jamacha, California for him. Orville and family were there. Pa seemed to enjoy it very much. We had a large hand, some cake that Persis brought over, that he was pleased with and spoke of so many times after. He was very fond of cake. The folks all stayed overnight and Pa seemed to enjoy their visit. He had a great time with the children. He little I dreamed of his going in so short a time, but he was more than willing. Wednesday, September 10th, 1913. I received letters from the girls in California. They took the children and decorated Pa's grave. I wonder if I shall ever see it again. I hope so, but who can tell the future? Wednesday, September 17th, 1913. This is Lou's birthday. He is 24. I sent him a little money and wrote a long letter. I hope he gets it. The time is wearing away. When 1 year is up, I will begin to count time. He is enjoying his mission, and I feel, sure that it will be a blessing to him. I am very grateful to the Lord for him and pray that he may be useful. Friday, October 3rd, 1913. I went to the Tabernacle to the Relief Society conference. Edna Correa played beautifully on the big organ. I am very thankful that she was given the privilege. I met some old friends from Mancos 1 and Red Mesa 2 and had a pleasant visit. The Gull Monument was unveiled and dedicated yesterday. It is very beautiful and the service was fine. I am very much pleased with the thought. It is to have generations to know the service they rendered in the hands of God to our people, when human hearts were steeled against us and drove us out to starve. The crickets were taking our crops and later the grasshoppers, and the gulls devoured them or carried them to the lake. Sunday, October 5th, 1913. We had the young folks from Red Mesa, also Sisters Taylor and Dean, to dinner. We have had fine meetings. I am very much disappointed at Don not coming with his family to the temple. I want to see them so much. The folks seem a little discouraged. I went to the fair. The exhibits are beautiful, but I looked up Vernal. I hope the boys will look at that place. Sunday, October 19th, 1913. I have letters from Lou. He is going among the Indians again. He received the money. He is well. I have looked in vain all the week for President Taylor and wife. They said they would come. I am very much disappointed. I gave a little lecture on government of young children at Sunday school. They seemed to enjoy it. Saturday, September 20th, 1913. I went to President Lyman for a blessing. I felt very anxious to do something at this canvassing that would count, and it seemed as if I have been bound by a power I could not overcome. Eppie's poor health and her nervous condition made me dread to leave her alone, and it is very difficult to get into people's houses so as to present the matter. I have had to force my way almost to get a chance to talk, and it was working on my nerves. I felt as if I must have help. When I told him my trouble, he talked October 1913 very kindly and told me of his love for my father and mother, and that his heart was full of blessings for the family. He asked my age and then questioned me about my health. He seemed surprised at my lack of the infirmities of old age, and TLD me, God had blessed me exceedingly. As we were talking, there was a frail little woman come in and told him that she wanted a blessing, that her husband died 18 months before, and they had come to a point that she had to go out and hunt work, that she had 6 children under 13, that her baby was 1 year old and she had weaned it so she could leave it with her children, and that the thought of going out to hunt work and leaving her children alone had kept her awake so much that she was nervous and weak and felt that she must have help. I sat and listened to her story and watched her quivering lips and trembling hands as with choking voice she told her story. She could not get the courage to start. Every word went straight to my heart. I could feel the throbbing of heart. She was not there to ask for bread, nor to censure anyone, but only strength and courage. That was what I had come for, but I had no little ones to leave now. Those days had passed. I went out and President Lyman blessed her. When he called me in, she was gone. He gave me a splendid blessing. I hope I can live worthy of it. I am ashamed of my weakness. What are these people to me that I should care if they shut the door on me? Monday, October 20th, 1913. I received letters from Don and Claire. Don's crop has been almost a failure and feels discouraged. No wonder when he looks back at the labor he has lost there and thinks of starting out somewhere with nothing and, family to care for, but I hope he will be able to get a little together should he conclude to leave. Claire's letter was lovely. She is a true wife and mother and very proud of the boys. Oh, what a joy it would be to me to be able to lift them out of their trouble, but I can only pray now. Wednesday, November 19th, 1913. There has been several pleasant events since I have recorded anything, but I am going to do better. 1 year ago today, Lou came across Roy Cooper's orange grove in California to a neat little cottage I called home. I was sweeping the yard, and Pa was sitting on a rug under a large fig tree pounding up bones for my beautiful flock of white leghorn hens. I can see the whole scene now. He was flushed and tired from his long walk. Oh, how little I knew how much his coming meant to me and his Pa. I will not recall the days of joy and trial that followed until he left me. Howard and Edna took me today to see The Last Days of Pompeii, represented in a splendid picture show as taken from British novel by that name. It was beyond anything I could conceive of. The crucifixion was terribly real. I shall always thank them for the entertainment. Friday, November 28th, 1913, Sister E, Eppie, Lou and I took dinner with George and family. We spent a very pleasant day. Eppie seemed to be no worse for it. Saturday, November 29th, 1913. I stayed one night still at Howard's. He and Edna were in good spirits. Sunday, November 30th, 1913. Eppie and Lou came to Howard's about noon, and we all ate a fine dinner and had a delightful afternoon. Eppie is so much better. It did my heart good to see her eat. When we got home, we found we had had several calls from friends. Monday, December 1st, 1913. Claude Coray phoned that his mother was sick and wanted me to go to Ogden. Tuesday, December 2nd, 1913. Took the train for Ogden. I found Sister Annie one sitting up but very miserable. She has lost her baby. Blanche is a lovely child and very intelligent. Brother Lou came late. They all seemed pleased to see me, and I know that I shall enjoy my visit immensely if Sister Eppie will keep well as she is. She has been much better for a month. Saturday, December 13th, 1913, I have had a very quiet, pleasant visit. Annie is feeling much better. I have enjoyed very much my evenings with Lou and his interesting family. Little Blanche is a fine entertainer, as bright a little girl as I ever saw. I wish I could see more of her. Eppie phoned for me, and I found the poor little soul very sick. It is discouraging. Yesterday was the anniversary of Pa's death. 1 year ago, the 12th, he passed peacefully away. I have gone through every detail of his sickness and death and burial in the last 2 days. It has passed. It may not be long until I follow. No one knows. I found loving letters from the children. It is hard to keep up spirits with Eppie so sick and these gloomy thoughts crowding. But oh, there is a sweet comfort in the children's love. Sunday, December 14th, 1913. I had a pleasant visit with George and family. George and Kate are in miserable health and the children are not well. Tuesday, December 16th, 1913. Sister Martha came. We had a very pleasant afternoon. She is so bright and intelligent. Her intellect never dims. Thursday, December 25th, 1913. I went last evening to George's to help trim the children's tree. They spent a pleasant, happy day with their toys, and I had a good time playing chess with George. When I got home, Howard and Edna were here, so the day closed agreeably. George gave me a car book, Kate a lovely opera bag, Lou L. and Annie Coray $4. December 1913. Lou Lewis a fine book. I had small presents from a good many, and was not forgotten by my children and grandchildren. Lots of presents and lots of love. Oh, Christmas, Christmas in the happy days gone by. Sunday, December 28th, 1913. Claude Louis came early with presents and spent the day with Sister Martha, Maud, and family. We had a very pleasant time. In the evening I called on Howard and Edna. He is quite sick with grip, for us all. We had a fine chicken dinner and a good visit. Eppie is improving. Thursday, January 1st, 1914. I called on Cousin Ephraim and family and spent the day with Sister Martha, Maud, and family. We had a very pleasant time. In the evening, I called on Howard and Edna. He is quite sick with grip.